Alright, so Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is finally available in theaters, and this will be my spoiler review, so if you haven't watched the film, I would click off now. Honestly, I wasn't sure if I was going to make a spoiler review, because if you didn't watch my non-spoiler review, I didn't really care for the movie all that much, so I didn't really want to talk about it more. But I went ahead and put a poll out and asked you guys if you would like me to do a spoiler review, and most of you said yes, so I thought, hey, might as well. By the way, click subscribe if you ever want to vote on any future polls. But last spoiler warning before I get into it, if you have not watched Quantumania, I would recommend clicking off the video now. And just as a heads up, this isn't going to be a super in-depth Easter egg breakdown of the entire movie. This is just going to be me commenting on a few spoilery things from the movie that I couldn't elaborate on in the non-spoiler review. So the biggest spoiler of this movie, of course, that everybody is going to be talking about after watching the film is the death of Kang. Now, honestly, do I think he's dead? No, not really, but either way, if he's dead or not, that was kind of a lame way for his character to go out. Especially before that, when you have the scene of Hank Pym showing up and having the ants take him all away. Really, it's Kang we're talking about here. Can ants really overpower Kang? But I think that's the biggest thing they got wrong in this movie, is just putting Kang in an Ant-Man movie in the first place, honestly. I think that was a big mistake, because their power levels are not even close. They are complete opposites, pretty much. I mean, they both have really advanced technology, but at the same time, Kang seems like he should be so much more advanced than, honestly, all of the main characters in this movie combined. I feel like he shouldn't have needed the Pym particles to be able to get out of the quantum realm, honestly. I think he would have been able to figure that out on his own, but hey, for the sake of the movie, I guess that's what they have to do. Jonathan Majors was great as Kang, and I think those moments that he had in the flashbacks with Janet Van Dyne are some of my favorite moments of Kang in the movie, and some of my favorite moments of Janet. Honestly, some of my favorite moments from the movie in general. But at the same time, when you think about some of the things that they do with Kang in this movie too hard, it just doesn't really make sense, and it kind of falls apart. Not just with Ant-Man going up against Kang and essentially beating Kang, but also the fact that why didn't Kang intervene at any of the other times when any of the other characters were in the quantum realm, like in Endgame when literally all the Avengers were in the quantum realm going back in time, or in Ant-Man and the Wasp at the end when Scott Lang gets stuck in the quantum realm. With that said, those are a couple reasons why I just think Kang shouldn't have been introduced in this movie, and possibly not even introduced in the quantum realm. Now, to get off of Kang for a second, I do want to talk about Modoc. I think most of us knew that it was going to be Corey Stoll as Modoc, and we all kind of assumed that his origin would be the way that it is. And I like all those aspects, and I like the humor that they brought to the character, because it feels a lot like the Modoc show we got on Hulu, and I very much like that show. I think it is a character that you can't help but make funny, especially in live action. But why did they have to introduce him and kill him off in the same movie? That's my biggest complaint with the character of Modoc, is that they decided to kill him off in the same movie they introduced him in. I don't mind the aspects of him being a funny character and just being crazy. I think that very much fits with the character. And like I said, you can only take it so seriously when you have a character like that in live action. But had they kept that character around, I feel like they probably could have done a lot more with his character, and even maybe taken him a little more seriously over time, making him more of a threat as a villain. One last thing before I talk about the post and after credit scenes is Bill Murray as Lord Krylar. Don't have much to say about him, because there's really not much to say about him. He's in the movie for like 2 seconds. It's a wasted cameo. I don't know why they decided to put it in there, aside from maybe having him in the marketing. Which makes the fact that we only got one shot of him in the trailer even more funny, because literally, it was just there to say, hey, Bill Murray's in the movie. But as for the post-credit scene, I thought it was fine, I guess. It was kind of goofy and a little confusing. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to set up all these different Kang variants for the Kang Dynasty and whatnot, and we're going to see all these different versions throughout phases 5 and 6. I think that's awesome, but at the same time, it just came off as a little goofy seeing Jonathan Majors as all these wacky different characters. You have one that looks like King Tut, one that looks like Savitar from the CW version of The Flash. So I don't really think that post-credit scene had the effect on me, at least, that it was supposed to have. I mean, it still kind of got me excited, but again, not as excited as I should have been. And the after-credit scene is basically just a trailer for Loki Season 2, a little clip from Loki Season 2, which I'm very excited to watch. I love Loki. It's one of my favorite MCU shows so far. But at the same time, I didn't realize it was a clip from Loki until pretty much the clip was over. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's all we get. And it really wasn't much. Overall, like I said, not a whole lot for me to talk about, at least when it comes to spoilers. There's plenty of other videos out there that break down pretty much every aspect of the movie. and I wasn't just going to copy what they did. I wasn't going to do all that research and read a bunch of comic books just to be able to understand everything. But I wanted to come in and kind of talk about the more spoiler aspects of the film and my opinions on them. But go ahead and tell me what you thought of Quantumania down in the comments below, and don't be afraid to talk about any spoilers because, of course, this is a spoiler video. So anything and everything, I'd love to hear from you. I respond to pretty much every comment. But do me a favor and leave a like on the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload, and I will see you in the next one.